Hi, I'm Vicky and you're watching Fuse TV. Today I've come here to investigate what's happening just opposite our Students' Union, which is a student sleep out in aid to raise awareness for asylum seekers and with two charities, Amnesty and Star. My personal opinion on the matter is that I believe all human beings should be treated equal and fairly. So I'm really excited to hear what they've got to say on the matter.
What I would ask is that polls are showing that the next government's going to be a different one. What would that government do differently to the present one?
So please introduce yourself and what's your role?
I'm Stephen. I'm the Communities Officer for Student Action for Refugees Manchester.
So what's it like been organising the event?
It's been really good, really great to work with Amnesty. They're an awesome society, and it's really good to be working with charities like the Boroughs Trust and getting in touch with people like Kate Green, who was here tonight, one of the local MPs, to get them involved in the campaign.
Yeah. How long has it been going for?
We started the campaign quite recently. We've contacted quite a lot of the councillors and Manchester City Council, and they're currently drafting a motion against destitution, so following in the lead of Bristol and Liverpool and some other cities in the UK who have spoken out in solidarity against destitution and have put additional funding in place in their budgets despite the government's cuts to actually step up their game.
So what are you hoping to achieve tonight?
Well, it's just getting the message out, but just to draw as much attention to the issue as possible. The banners are a good start, but there's nothing better than just talking to people.
Do you think these victims get the justice that they deserve?
I don't think they are at the moment. I think the system is heavily against them, and I think that there's politicians need to step up to do more. But like Kate Green was saying earlier, it's us that need to jump on their backs and get them to do it, because they're there to listen to us and to serve us. So we need to get them to do what we want, really.
And if you could send a message directly to them, what would it say?
It would be to just look at the situation as it is and imagine yourself or one of your kids being in another country, destitute. We need to stand up for the disadvantaged in our society. We need to stand up for those who don't really have a voice, and I think this is the perfect way to do that.
I had refusal after refusal. Today I am granted. Oh, I've got a wonderful God.
I'm Julia. I've been chair of staff for like a few months now. So I've been doing a lot of organisation, and I'm quite lucky because I get to go to like all the refugee group meetings where they're like coming up with plans on how they want to fight destitution, how they want to get involved.
So for people who don't know, who are asylum seekers and what is destitution?
Okay, an asylum seeker is someone who decides to seek refuge in another country because they feel like their life is in danger where they come from. And they're an asylum seeker when they're applying to be a refugee and they haven't yet been accepted. Okay, and destitution is it's basically not having enough money or things to meet your basic needs. These people find that like they could go home, but they'll probably die when they're at home, so they just come on the streets. And there's estimated that there's like at least 1,000 in Manchester. Like the organisations such as the Red Cross see like 300 every week.
I heard about there's the support that is like you get little as £5 a day.
Yeah, a single asylum seeker gets £5 something a day. It was set to be like 70% of income support, which was like a fairly good amount. It was judged that was enough for people to live on. But that was quite a few years ago now. So now it's at like 40-50%, and it's not really enough for people to get like winter clothing and like to travel to see your lawyer, to make phone calls. Like, how do you have a chance with your case if you can't see your lawyer?
So talk to me about STAR. What's the work that you guys do?
A lot of STAR groups do like drop-ins and conversation classes, and we've got 2 conversation classes. One's in Stockport and one is in Manchester. And then on top of that, we've done like some like fundraising, and we've tried to have like an equal access campaign going. There's a few like kids around here who they don't have any access to university because they're asylum seekers. Yeah. So we're trying to get some support for that.
Who've come from perhaps the most difficult and distressing backgrounds, and I think we need to be reminded of that history, that tradition.
My name is Durrani. I work for the Liverpool Outreach Asylum Support Project, and my role is mostly to assist destitute plus asylum seekers in Liverpool so that they come from the streets into mainstream support systems. So most of the biggest problems I've been coming across in my role has been asylum seekers stripping in the streets, severe mental health issues, not having any access to treatments, and then clients with HIV and AIDS issues and not even accessing especially accommodation and proper food which is required in order to manage their health systems. And now the biggest problem we have, even those whom we try to manage to access support, we are seeing even from social services, social workers have lost their role of being carers. They are becoming more like immigration officers in terms of the stigma associated with you being destitute and asylum seekers. Oh, you don't have recourse to public funds, so we can't support you. It's about us using as professionals as well the loopholes to say no. The law does not stop people who are destitute if they've got severe illness. It's not to be supported by local authorities or accessing Section 4 support. So it's about us as well as professionals fighting the system which should have been accommodating them. We need to treat human beings with dignity. Lacking housing for an individual is one of the most difficult situation one can go through, because home is a basic necessity. Once you lose that basic necessity, you lose your dignity. This should not happen in the UK. And I'm here to support the people who are here to say we are in this together. We are fighting, especially together, for the government to stop the destitution of vulnerable people who have got no voice, who have got no friends, and we are their friends today.
Dignity, not destitution. All human beings deserve the right to have shelter, food, even their own basic needs, really. So I hope today we can raise awareness for it.
And developed enough to be able to afford that.
I was invited by my friend. It's quite a important issue, to be honest. Like, I'm from Manchester, and it's always struck me the amount of homeless people on the street, but also the amount of clearly foreign homeless people on the streets in Manchester. And I'm hoping that by the end of it I know a bit more about it and more aware about the actual situation. I guess it's the kind of, if it doesn't bother you, don't really think about it type situation. It's never really apart from simply noticing perhaps the number increase over the years, it's never really crossed my mind too much, to be honest. Yeah.
Together we'll find victory, hand holding hand, hand holding hand, hand holding hand.
Hiya, I'm Stephanie. I'm co-campaigns coordinator for Amnesty Society.
Okay, so tell me about the work that your organisation does.
We campaign on human rights issues around the world, particularly things like the death penalty, torture, people being imprisoned for reasons we don't think they should be imprisoned for, things like protesting, journalism, things like that.
So what brings you here today?
We all care very passionately about the fact that asylum seekers are often left destitute for weeks or months on end, sometimes longer. And we think it's really important to raise awareness about things like that. And this is a really good thing to do because it gives people the experience of what it would be like.
Do you think the victims are getting the justice that they deserve?
Not really at the moment, but I'm hopeful that things will change. I think people need to do more, definitely. And the more people that get involved, the more people that sign petitions, the more people that make a noise about it, the better things will get. So it's really important to do stuff like this and keep doing things like this.
Hand holding hand, hand holding hand. Never ever put to flight, we are bound to win. We are bound to win. We are bound to win. Never ever put to flight, we are bound to win. We are bound to win.